Okay guys, so it's been a couple of weeks since we picked up this LRB stuff, and I kind of stacked it all back here because I knew I wasn't going to be able to get to it for a little bit. We had to first get our seats in and a couple other things on that car, and then I decided I was going to jump into the 190E because I had ordered in some parts for that, and I want to try to get that car back on the road before winter starts and we start having really nice weather here in Florida. So we're going to jump back into this today, and I'm going to start working on the LRB stuff, but we've got lots of pieces. This is door panels, rear seat delete, trunk delete, and then we've also got our center console. So let's go ahead and take a look at how they've kind of put all this together. And if you guys didn't catch the video where I went out and took a look at their factory and met the owners, awesome people. They really packaged everything well. I finally just got a chance to pull these things out. But you can see here, if you look closely, everything is labeled. You've got, this one says radio shift, door panels, inside here it's spare tire cover, rear seat delete, so that's what those are bolts and nuts for. So let's go ahead, I'm going to pull this one out because I believe that this is the instructions, and look, they threw a ton of stickers in, so I'll go ahead and put some of those on the car when we finish up. These are going to be your door straps here. You can customize those, and keep in mind, the door panels are probably one of the more customizable things. But you can kind of select. I only selected to keep the power window, power lock, and then the actual door handle. I think the door handle actually might go up here, but I only selected to keep a few of the things. I did not do the memory seats, and I think the speakers are also an option. So when you go to order these, you go on their website and you have a drop down. You kind of select all the different things you want, and then they put it together by hand, and then they have these instructions that they put together. And I've already done other parts of theirs on my RX-8. I did the undercarriage, and I was getting ready to do some other things too. So I'm familiar with their layout, their instructions, and how awesome they put things together. But I'm going to go ahead and get all this stuff laid out now. I just wanted to show you guys how this all came, and this is how if you ordered it, it would be shipped out. And I do have a code down below for 10% off if you decide to buy anything from their site. So feel free to use that. They're awesome people, and I'm glad they actually offered that to my YouTube subscribers, even though I have a very small channel. And I'm hoping to get a lot more things from them and keep supporting them. And being that they're a local company here, and they're a very small family-owned company, and they're in their, I believe, late 20s, early 30s, because we got talking for a while. So not very young couple starting a business, and something that's not highly profitable and sought after, but definitely something our industry needs, because this is something that the speed community, the drift build, the drag racing community, all of them want to go with stuff like this, and it's really hard to find customized ones for your car. So stay tuned. I'm going to set all of this up and walk you guys through exactly how to put these in. Okay, so we're going to start with the driver's door panel, so make sure you grab the right door panels. These do come in sets when you order them. Keep in mind there are lots of options, so this video is just really going to show you how to quickly install the components that I selected. I did not do speakers, and everything came with it, so it did come with all the stuff to wound around the speakers, but I'm going to basically just stick to what I'm going to be installing, so it's going to be a more basic installation. If you have questions, I can go back to the instructions and guide you the best I can. And if you're like me, instructions are kind of useless except for some of the photos, because they do get confusing. I like to kind of mock everything up, look back at the photos, and then figure things out. So the first thing you're going to do, according to the instructions, is obviously pull off your door panel, and we've already done that. It does say there's no instructions on that, but you can find videos online. The next thing is going to be to reinstall your plastic housing. I am not doing that, so kind of skip forward. Do that. It's a very easy installation. And the next thing is going to be to put this set screw in. And on the instructions, it says to use the 2 flange nuts. So you've got your M6 by 35, set screw that goes all the way through. It's basically a bolt that has no ends on it. And then you're going to use your 2 flanged nuts. So that's 1 and 2, and sandwich them on this very bottom piece here. That's a little confusing on the instructions, but if you look at the photos, you'll kind of understand. Now it says to stick it out 1/4 inch past the plastic. So what I did was I went back and looked at the photos and saw that it was about that much on the back side, and then I just mocked it right up there, and you can see it lays flat. So you want to make sure it lays flat and doesn't protrude. So as long as you can get your sheet metal screw which is going to look like this if you got confused on that. And you're basically going to now install the door handle with the sheet metal screw and this nut right here, bolt package, sticking out so that you're able to slide the door panel on. I'm going to tighten this all up, put the sheet metal screw on, and show you guys how the next step goes. So between each step, I like to mock it up, so I basically align the door with the bolt that's going to be sticking out, and then kind of made sure that we're going to match up here along here with the bolt holes, and everything looks to be lining up. So we're going to basically remove this panel now, set it off to the side, and we're going to disassemble our power switch panel. And this based on this, you're going to basically use the pieces that you've designed. I've got power locks, power window lock, my power windows here, and the mirror switch. That's going to be basically all this taken apart and reassembled into our door panel right here. And basically this is the instruction part here. These are the pieces, and this is the screws and nut you're going to use. So there's a whole bunch of those that come with it, and you can kind of tell by this picture the length once you stick it through, so you can kind of get a better idea. So on our next step, we actually need to remove these pieces from this holder. So this is your power window, window lock, mirror switches, and basically you've got Phillips head screws that you can remove this. And then when we come over to the instructions, you have these mounting brackets. Now they ship them, or you receive them flat like this, and they basically have the creased edge, and you want to fold them like that. I'm going to show you real quick how to do that. Okay, so they bend pretty easy. If you look at these notches, you're going to use that as a guide to bend it, and they will go into shape pretty easily. And so you're just going to do it just like that, and you're going to do that on all these edges. Same thing with this one here. You're going to follow where that is. You're going to bend that down 90 degrees and then over 90 degrees, so you've got it like that. So pretty simple. Then you're going to take these here. These are basically Allen key with the nut, and you got a whole bunch of those in the kit, and those are what you're going to use to mount these brackets. And these brackets are what's going to hold in the power window switch as well as the mirror switch. So depending on which you've decided to keep, you might not get these brackets, or you might get these brackets. You might have kept everything, the speakers, the memory seats and everything, so you might have a little bit more to it. So I'm going to go ahead, undo those Phillips screws, get these bent into place, and show you how they mount to the door. So from what I just mocked up, I believe this is going to be for the passenger door. And this piece right here is going to hold in our mirror adjustment switch, which is kind of funky because the way that they have it cut out, it has this piece coming. Now these pull right out of that plastic thing. Your power window switches slide right in, and the holes line up. There's 3 holes, and in the set of screws there are 3 screws with 3 nuts that are smaller than the ones that are going to be used on this and this. So make sure you grab that are a little bit longer and they're a little bit skinnier, and there should be 3 of those. So basically those 3 are going to go into these 3 holes, and you're just going to mount that up. Your bracket right here is going to go on the inside of this, and you'll see it lines up with those holes, and you're going to use those bigger nuts and screws. So let me go ahead and mount those up, and I'll show you exactly how they go in. Okay guys, so I've got this on there now, so you can see how this goes on here. I'm going to flip it around to the back side so you can kind of see how that bracket goes on there. So pretty basic, and like I said, you may have other options, speakers and such. I'm not going to cover that because I'm not doing the speakers, but the strap I could not find in the instructions, so I kind of narrowed it down. You've in the kit you had a longer bolt like this, and I'm sure I might be just missing a page on the instructions since I kind of opened this up a while ago and set it aside. I took this nut here, and I found there's 2 washers. So basically what I did was nut, washer on the inside, and bolt on that side, and you can see it sticks through pretty far. I'm going to tighten that up. You want to keep it a little bit loose so that it does have some play, so you can pull on it and move it around. I'm going to go ahead now and mock the whole thing up and show you guys how to bolt it to the door. So the kit came with 4 of these screws, and if you look here, they installed one there and one down here. So I grabbed 2, and obviously there's 4, so 2 for each door. And then it came with 8 of these, and you can see there's 1, 2, 3, and 4. It does look like there's one more screw here, but I'm not sure if that is for the speaker. So what we're going to do is I've got it basically mocked up over there. You want to make sure you plug in your power window switch, your power mirror switch, and then the nice thing is you've got this here. You can slide it on. There's 2 of these in the kit, and that's what's going to go on there. I've lightly put that on there. Now, I'm going to basically have to pop this out. When you take the door panels off, sometimes these get left behind, and these are the holes that we're going to use to pop in those plastic retainer clips. So I'm going to go ahead and pull off any of the ones that I still have on here, and then I'm going to show you guys how those pop in. Okay, so according to the diagram, you basically want to line this up here. We're going to get this retainer clip to kind of slide in like that, get it flush, and then pop it in. I don't know if you guys have the best angle, but as you can see there, that popped in. And then we've got a few more. I'm going to show you where each one of these clips goes in. Now, according to this, one of the screws is going to go in here. Now, I just realized that some of these screws are longer than the other, and that is the longest screw. I did not keep my trim along this, so yours might look a little bit different if you've got that trim. So there is 2 length Phillips screws. So the longer one goes here. Now, like I said, if you have the trim, that's going to cover that up. But you want to make sure you don't over tighten that and bend it in. You want to make sure it is flush. I also had to make an adjustment to this so that this panel would slide over that. And you can see this gets that nut over top of it so you don't snag yourself on that. Okay, so you've got the one push pin I showed you there. Then you've got your shorter screw that's going to go right here, and I'm going to tighten that up in just a second. Then you've got your push pin here, push pin here, push pin here. Now, if you have the speaker that's going to be in here, on the diagram it showed a screw in here, but on the other side of here is a rubber style nut. And I tried to take that out, and it doesn't come out. It just keeps spinning and spinning. I don't know if I had to grip it with some pliers, but I have plenty of security here as far as what I'm comfortable with. Once I get that screw tightened up there, that is really going to finalize it. And I'm going to go ahead and just throw on the other door panel just to see if there's any differences, because we do have that plate here that is going to basically hold in our window switches on the other side. So let me go ahead and tidy up this, get that screw put in, and then we'll throw in the other door panel. Okay guys, so basically this is how that bracket goes on. I'm going to flip it around so you can see the 2 power window switch and the power lock switch on the other side. And basically it's pretty simple. You can see that bracket is very flexible. Now it is shorter on one side and taller on the other, and you'll see the holes that line up, but that also lets you know that how these buttons actually go in, because you have to have the bracket slide over. And I had one flip the wrong way, and so it kind of let me realize my switches were painted, so I have some terrible looking switches, so I couldn't even see which was up, down, lock, or on lock. And luckily with the bracket, it doesn't let you put it on wrong. So besides that, it's pretty much going to be the same way to put on the rest of this as the other side. Your clips go in, door handle goes on. It's probably going to take me another 5 minutes to mount this one up. I'm going to show you guys the end results of both of them. And then, like I said, if you have any questions, please message me down below. I have a good connection with these guys. I'm going to leave a discount code. And, you know, if you're missing anything in your kit, it should be easy to contact them and get them. Or if you just have some questions on what size wrenches and stuff to use. There's not a whole lot of tools you need. You need to make sure you got some Allen keys. They are metric. And then I think I used a 7 and an 8 millimeter socket to hold the other side of these nuts. So let me go ahead and get this finished up, and I'll show you guys how it looks. Well, I kind of failed at one thing. I completely forgot, since it's been so long since I've taken these door panels off, that I don't have a door handle for this side. I have to actually order that in. So all I have is the cables. So what I did was I went ahead and mocked this up so you guys can get an idea. The cool thing about the passenger side is it's a lot easier to put on than the driver's side, especially if you start with the driver's side, because you'll have a full understanding. And so basically you just had to make that bracket that went on the back side of this, bolt those two up. Now, of course, if you've got speakers going in here, that's going to be another step. I decided to delete those and basically go with no system, since this will be a drift car. And I'm going to be listening to the sound of the exhaust. That will be one of the upcoming videos. We are going to basically redesign this exhaust. So let me break down for anybody who's new what we're going to be doing on this car. We are going to be doing a wide body kit. Now that is probably one of the last things we'll be doing, because we're going to be painting it after we do the wide body kit. I've got some TSW really deep rims that are going to look awesome. I have not revealed yet. And there's a list of things I've got. Now, I've got a bunch of LRB parts. I've got the center console, the rear seat delete, and which we're waiting to do a roll cage before we start that. I've got the center console out, and I'm probably going to have the roll cage put in before mounting that in, but it might be the next video just because I want to see how everything looks tied together. We did put an aftermarket quick release steering wheel in. We did do the seats with the seat bracket. I do have a bracket on the other side and another seat to go in. I did order in harnesses, but of course we need to have the roll cage put in order for the harnesses. And I believe I got the LRB trunk delete. Like I said, I went down to LRB. If you didn't see that video, the owners are awesome, and I bought a bunch of things, and it's been quite a few weeks because I've been working on the 190E project and the S500 VIP build, which there's some videos coming up very soon. If you haven't seen my updated post, I ordered in a ton of stuff. I'm going to put a picture of that now, and this is stuff that's going to be mounted to the inside, and I'm very excited about that because that is my favorite car. It's very clean. And it's low mileage, and I started daily driving it just recently and love it. So if you're into Mercedes, we've got quite a few. We've got the sc300 V12. Almost sold this car today. Actually was looking to trade it for an LS400, and the car I looked at just was not up to the standard that I wanted it. And so we may be getting this fixed. So that stay tuned. If you guys are interested, anyone interested in buying this car, shoot me a message. This is the S600. It's a Euro spec. It's got the side markers. It does start up. It does drive, but the transmission is basically it needs the conductor plate, from what I know. Now I'm not 100% on that. And it basically just stays in second gear. I'll link the video to that, and if you guys are interested, let me know, because I don't have enough time to jump on that anytime in the near future with all the projects I have. But we're going to back to the sc300. We're basically going to be doing an NAT build on the motor over there. So I have another 2JZ. This motor here has all the parts to make it an NAT. And we have a second W58 transmission, the same one that is in this, so we've got backup transmission. For right now, what we're going to do is build this NA as powerful as we can so we can start drifting while we're building this motor up to be pushing around 3 to 375 to the wheels. We don't want to go overboard because we don't have the power in the transmission to support that, and we're going to be sticking with that W58 until probably we burn both of them out. So once again, my name's Pete. This is Pete's Carport. This is the finished product on this door. LRB, awesome people, awesome product, easy to install. The only downside I saw was the instructions can be a little confusing, so hopefully this video helped you guys out if you're looking to install these. Have any questions, please comment below. And please let me know what you guys are thinking so far of the sc300 drift build and what you would like to see next on the channel. Have an awesome week and a blessed day, guys.